No, just send you the file. That works.
Beauty. Okay. I just want to be cognizant of her as well, just in case. Like, I don't want to be
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I think
I
she's,
mean, I want to be weird. Don't get me wrong.
I
That's
hope you
it.
weren't changing, really. When you
Yeah.
said that, that kind of shocked me a little bit. But
Yeah. I just get weirded about
no, I think the stuff that we'll talk about here is everything that she really talked about on the podcast. It's not, she gives the goods on the podcast, so I don't see any reason why we wouldn't want to do the same thing here. Um,
Typical.
and I just think that she has more experience than we do with it. We've got, we're testing it on a couple of different ad accounts right now, and it did really well on one in particular, and it was Wicked Reports. They just weren't cultivating the conversations in the right way, and I think Molly's been able to do that really well with the sales team. And it seems like it's a similar kind of setup like you guys have right now. So why the hell not do it?
Yeah. I'm all
So
for it.
yeah,
And we could, what do we need? Well, I guess we'll wait for Molly before I start grilling y'all.
yeah.
Molly.
Well, what's up,
Hey, what's up, people of the
JOTB?
block? Hey, hey, there she go, there she go. What?
And we got Krantz coming on. Let me see. I'm gonna ping Molly here.
She's probably like, man, it's not even my company. Gosh.
Do you know? For all War Room members, she has to she's obligated to actually get on a phone call with them if they ask her anything about like Facebook ads. So I was like, well,
That's great.
this is kind of the same thing, a little bit different here. It's not like War Room member kind of thing, a little bit different, as far as that goes. I know stuff's
Oh,
changed
dude,
with
this
that
next
anyway.
one is my last one. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Never.
I heard,
I'm
I
not going to be
heard,
there either.
dude, we're gonna miss you.
Well, y'all know where I stay at.
Yeah.
Fool.
Hey, I'll be in La Jolla next weekend.
Bring me some
Oh,
money.
really?
Yeah, I'm coming down. I'm taking Kyler right before our event. Taking Kyler down to. We're gonna go hit Torrey Pines for Friday. Go check out Tiger Woods, make his little comeback, and then him and a buddy, and then we're gonna go stay at that La Jolla Shores. There, right on that main, La Jolla Shores beach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to live right there. I know,
What's
right?
that?
I used to live right there, dude. So that is my old stomping
Yeah.
ground.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I think you mentioned that a while back. I stayed there a couple times. Ralph and I stayed there. It's a fun little place, great place for kids.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go like Thursday to Sunday, and then Monday I'm heading to Austin to meet with Ralph and 5-day certification. So
That's
You
cool.
guys
we'll
can
be
get some
down next to the
wind.
woods, but it'll be quick.
There's probably going to be surf just because this is the time of year for it.
Yeah, I
I
know.
wouldn't go in the water though, dude. It's gonna be nasty. You're not gonna want to go in the water.
Yeah, that's true.
You're gonna get staph infection if you do.
Oh, like
Never
Not bad.
algae blooms and all that.
We're
Yeah.
talking six solid days of rain in San Diego.
Oh
That
yeah.
is like it's like the apocalypse right now.
Really? I've
Yeah.
seen the weather. It's supposed to be decent when we get there, but so is
I
that
know
not? I didn't
it
realize
washes,
that up the
it
ocean
washes
that
all
bad.
the nasty into the ocean, and it takes a couple weeks to clean up. I wouldn't go in the water.
The flip side of that is I would totally go.
That's beautiful.
Damn, I don't care.
Yeah, because it's waves. So, dude, it's, I mean, come on.
Wear the goggles.
Yeah, you'll be
I'm
fine.
feeling
You
yeah.
might get sick, but you won't die,
All right.
So,
Antibiotics for staph infections. Come on.
yeah, that's why they make shots and stuff.
Right. Exactly.
drugs,
Jenny can whip up something in her molecular virology lab that'll knock it right.
Yeah, that is it.
Kyler wants to bring his longboard, Jenny. He got for Christmas.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we actually won't be here.
Oh, you won't?
Yeah, it's my birthday, so we're gonna go
Oh.
up to Big Bear.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
I mean, it's so much snow up there. You've got to go. Like,
Oh, I can imagine. Holy God, it's freaking unreal, I bet.
Mammoth got like 7 feet in like one weekend.
Nice.
That's so crazy.
Yep.
Well, should we start partying or what?
Yeah, I think I see Molly hopping on now, too, so.
Oh, cool. All right.
There she is.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Hey.
Hey. Sorry, I was talking to the Facebooks,
The Facebook.
which
What
is
do they
perfect.
want?
Money.
Oh man, that's bad news.
No, I don't know. Corporate talk.
Oy. That's amazing. They gave us our own person. Like, and apparently that person is nice.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
Yeah. She's
I
super
send
good.
our
I know from them
person.
and thought we were in trouble.
Yeah.
You're like, don't
Lunch
be
with
dumb.
her.
It's like they've totally changed. Now they're all warm and fuzzy, and we love advertisers, as opposed to when the apocalypse hit about a year and a half ago, everybody's ad account was getting
You
banned.
just realize where our money comes from. This is great.
How about that? Let's be nice to those people who pay us.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll continue being obnoxiously compliant, and everything will be cool.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so I
Mal,
hit the record button. Hey, Molly, is it okay with you if I record this and give it to
Yeah.
our local members, assuming that it comes out good?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's recording, so I would say don't say anything weird, but I can't live up to that. So, expect not to.
That would be hypocritical of you.
So I'll frame the conversation, then I'm going to play a little game called Shut Up and Listen. So y'all have figured out how to make Facebook Messenger ads work, apparently, and that's awesome. And that's all I got. So I'm now going to shut up and listen and do as I'm told.
yeah. Well, I mean, the structure of we were saying this right before you got on, Molly, is that the structure of Frank's company is similar to what you guys are doing. Obviously, you've got salespeople that are manning Messenger. And how many salespeople do you have, Frank? Is it one guy or is it a couple? Is it a team?
It's two.
Two.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we're thinking about this. Like the reason why our little test with Wicked Reports didn't work so well is because they were not manning the messenger. Which maybe that'd be a nice title for a podcast, Man the Messenger. But
It sounds like a stupid idea. I mean, why would they expect to have to actually respond to the incoming messages in order for it to work? I think that's crazy.
that's crazy idea. It's crazy.
Yeah,
talk. People
makes sense.
want
Wow.
money and you just don't want to talk to them. So anyway,
Yeah.
but you guys figured that out, and obviously it's working for you. And the scope and the breadth of products that Frank has to offer, there's a lot of opportunity to be able to do this. Plus, you guys are text messaging people anyway as a part of your sales funnel. So this is just a natural next step. So that's the reason why I thought it'd be a real good thing for us to do. And you've got way more experience. So anyway, that's all I got to say. But yeah, I would love to hear what you think.
Well, I'm all for it. So, Molly, I think we really have kind of the same model in terms of what DM's doing with their higher level stuff, which if I'm going to just guess here, because they change stuff all the time over there, and I blame Ryan Dice because he's just not tall, and therefore you can't trust him. And he's under 40. It's just a double two strikes right there.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're selling what, $297 a month for marketing certification-y type stuff for people who want to train their teams and things. Is that about right?
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, so we're using this even for. Yes.
Uh-oh, it got weird.
Go ahead, Frank.
And now I lost you the
Yeah,
audio.
We lost you.
Cut now. So it stopped what we're using this for.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I think I cut out. Yeah, we're using this really for all of our products. So even our $38.60 a month Digital Marketer Lab, we're using this.
So what's the framework of it?
Right.
I'm guessing they see the ad in the news feed that says click here to message us if you have questions or something, and then
Right.
Who sees that? Do you go to like lookalikes or
Right.
retarget, or walk me through that first step if you don't mind. We're just going to
Yes.
copy what you do, and
No.
we're just going to call it online marketing using digital stuff.
No, totally.
Molly,
So
I just put your ad in the chat because I still have it up
Yeah.
in my browser to share with my group, but I haven't done it yet.
yeah. So really there's two sides to it. So in my opinion, the coolest part about this is not even the ads necessarily, but basically you can build a subscriber list in Messenger now. So basically Facebook's allowing you to not only run ads in the news feed that open in a message, and those can go to anyone, You can also send sponsored messages. So like Frank, if you were doing a flash sale or something, everyone that has messaged your page in the past, you can send out a broadcast to them, just like an email. And we're seeing anywhere from 80 to 90% open rates on those messages, which is insane, right?
Which
So
is really making me wish I had not disabled the ability for people to message my page like a year and a
yeah,
half.
that'll probably make you sad. But what we're doing is we're using a service called ManyChat, ManyChat.com. It's $10 a month, and you hook up your Facebook pages, and everyone that messages you is, becomes a subscriber. So we really have two goals. One goal is to build this list so that we can use it to send out content, promotional materials, really like we use the email list. The other is what you're talking about, and we're using it really far down the funnels right now because, you can target cold traffic, right? Lookalike audiences or interests, whoever you want to target, but you really have to make sure you are framing the ad to start the ideal sales conversation. So if you said like, hey, what's your favorite color? You're just going to get a bunch of bullshit messages and it's going to be a waste of time, right? But like there was this guy I was talking to. He owns basically a home improvement local company, and they do landscaping, they paint, they've got plumbing, whole 9 yards. And so he ran an ad and targeted everyone in his town, and it was like something to the effect of, if you could improve one thing about your house, what would it be? Or like, what's the number one thing bothering you about your home? So he really prefaced the conversation. And then they'd say, oh, it's my landscaping. And the person's on the other end, oh, cool, well, we do this, can we come out on Tuesday and give you a quote? Blah, blah, blah. So that's a good example of using it to what I would call cold traffic. We're not doing that as much right now. What we're doing is we are retargeting people that visit a sales page but don't buy. And I went to the sales team for every product and I said, okay, what are the biggest questions you get about this product? So for a few of them, like you'll notice the ad that Keith put in the chat, like that, it says the page isn't available. I'll send it to you guys. But the ad image looks like a conversation, and the first question says, will DM Lab work for my business? Because we know that's the biggest question people have, right? They read the sales page for the product and they're like, this sounds cool, but I just don't know if it'll work for my business. So we're really, when they see the ad, we're already planting an idea in their head of what the conversation could be about. So, those ads are pretty simple. The text says, have any questions about digital marketer?
Your screen. The second one, I left out part of the link URL. I thought it would still work, but I think the one in there now should work.
Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, you can see it. It says, have questions about Digital Marketer Lab and how it can help grow your business. Facebook chat with one of our specialists to get your questions answered. We're happy to help. You'll notice that one's a video because we wanted that little button, the bubble to move in the bottom left-hand corner, so people, realize that this wasn't actually someone that's going to message them on the other side. But you could use an image, carousel, anything you want there. So basically right now we're just retargeting people, whether it's Digital Marketer Lab, HQ, The Machine, all of our products. If you visit the page and you don't buy, you see this and it's like, hey, we're not even acknowledging that they didn't buy. They just see this and, chat with one of our specialists, right, to get your questions answered. So really, this is working great. Go ahead.
I think, Molly, the one thing to stress, and we did this, Frank, by the way, when you're, this weekend when you're getting your nails done, you and Natalia are, getting your nails done and your pedicures and your manicures, listen to episode 80 of the podcast. We kind of go through this whole thing and talk about, you can listen to like 35, 40 minutes of this, and Molly goes deeper into this stuff. But the one thing is that, Molly mentioned a second ago, is when somebody clicks on this ad right here, that basically that takes them to your messenger, right? So it initiates the conversation. But ManyChat now that person is, it's like a kind of like a custom audience. So now you can basically broadcast message people directly to their Facebook Messenger.
Can I show my screen?
Yep.
Can you guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll help. And then, Frank, I think the next step from this, right? This is easy. This is really far down, not far down the funnel, but this is just sort of low-hanging fruit. I think the next step from here is something like, actually, I've got slides here. Something like this to more of your warm audience, so people that know who you are, know about your products. And this is just a little broader. Have questions about, how we can help double the size of your business, any of our products, click here to chat. So we ran this to anyone who's visited our website and our email list. So this generated a ton of conversations, and we weren't prepared for it internally yet. So that's why I really turned it down and started focusing on low volume conversations. But now that the sales team's figured out how they're going to, manage the inbox and how this is going to work, I'm definitely going to broaden out to more ads like this. Yeah, I can show you ManyChat. So
Yeah, I
we're
had a
building.
question about that too, Molly, because I'm sure about ManyChat and as far as, is there any API integration like with Infusionsoft or anything like that yet? Or?
I'm not quite sure. I know that Facebook integrates with Salesforce, and we're moving to that in the next few weeks. So whenever, our sales team will be able to facilitate this live chat within Salesforce and have all of the customer data there. I'm not sure about Infusionsoft. I feel like yes, but I don't want to.
But it sounds to me like right now you're using it just as a standalone tool successfully.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you don't need to complicate it. So you can see the broadcasts, we've sent 4. And obviously the numbers are small. We're still building our list, but 90%, 88,
That's
88.
ridiculous. Look at your click-through rate, 22.90%.
Right? And look, these are promotional too. Like, hey there, because you're a valued DM subscriber, we want to extend an invitation for you to join our 15,000 member community. Sorry, Ryan's doing ridiculous shit. This is Frank and Ralph and Keith.
Oh, is that Little Bears?
He needs to grow up.
Oh, I thought you were dancing.
Oh, it is Friday. Have him do the Friday dance.
Is that Little Bear
They want
over
you to do the
there?
Friday dance. They want you to do the Friday dance. Yeah. Sorry, guys. But yeah, these are pretty
Oh, he
promotional.
likes it if you call him Little Bear, by the way. That's his real name.
Frank says, "Hi, little bear."
Aw, that's cute.
But you'll notice you can add an image here. It's cool because you can add text. Holy shit, I didn't know this. You can add audio now, video, a file. These are brand new.
These are direct. These are like text messages basically, because they're
Yeah.
directly to the Facebook. They're getting notifications on their phone, on their desktop. It's completely different.
And
That's why
you
you're
can
getting those
decide,
click-through rates.
like regular push notification will make a sound and display a phone notification. You can do 1, 2, silent. So there's a lot you can do in here. And then of course there's bot functionality, which we've played with a bit. If you wanted to automate, a welcome message, or when you message our page, we welcome, and then we've got our products, our blog underneath so that they have something to do before we can answer. But yeah, this is really easy to use. And like you said, I would figure out how to do it standalone before, syncing it to Infusion or anything like that. But if you just start by retargeting people who visit the page but don't buy, then, run some ads to your email list. Obviously, people want to talk to you, right? And they have questions. So I think especially for our types of businesses, it makes a lot of sense.
Now to do this, Molly, explain how to get to be able to do this. What you kind of maybe explain that again, just in case.
Be able to do what now?
to be able to message these people with this ManyChat, they've got to, unless they've already messaged you randomly, but they've got to see that initial ad that we saw and clicked on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Right.
so they have to engage first, and now they're in
Right.
Yep.
Right. And they're in Facebook too, and you can send these broadcasts out via Facebook, but you're going to pay for each one of them. And if you send it out via ManyChat, it's $10 a month. So that's a no-brainer in my mind, right?
Totally.
I've been saving up. I have money just now.
Yeah.
All right.
But no, they have to message your page first, which is good, of course, or marketers would ruin this, right? And just start inboxing everybody. But yeah, you run the destination ads to build, this opens in Messenger. Now that person is a subscriber in Messenger. Something else you can do. So we sent out this email right here. And we sent this out to people who had already purchased TNC tickets, and we were, asking if they were bringing guests or wanted to buy more tickets. So we said, you have 3 ways to answer. Reply to this email, give us a call, or chat on Facebook. So you get this link from ManyChat and just replace Digital Marketer with Frank Kern or whatever the name of your page is. When someone clicks on this, it opens in Messenger. So you can have a sales conversation, obviously, with them in Messenger, but they're also subscribed. So that's a cool way to, move your email subscribers over to chat. You can even put it on your website, whatever you want to do with that link, which is awesome.
Yeah, and build that list up because that's been disabled, you said, Frank, the ability to message on the page.
Yeah, I turned it off a while because I would just get so many weird things that,
Oh, totally.
Right.
Or these people. Now, do you guys pay attention to the weird things or just let them be?
It depends. If I get in here now, the team does a good job of, they'll just say, hey, thanks for reaching out, or they'll answer them to address, to say hi, but they don't let it go too far. But they do a good job in here. There's a tagging system, so you can see it's sales completed, in progress sales, customer support. So they have these tags now so that a few of them can be in there at the same time. And they're all on the same page.
Got it.
But yeah, of course, people message all the time and say things like, someone the other day was like, hey, I'm just messaging because I saw this on the podcast, right? And we're just like, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same stuff that we see through Fix Your Funnel sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll turn that back on. All right, so I think I have an idea of how to use this thing, which is, first of all of our step 1 people who start to order Inner Circle and don't, they should definitely be getting retargeted like crazy for this.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones who the sales page for that. But I think I'll test one of your
Absolutely
broader ad as well, guys. Just even though I know we're going to get inundated with conversations that may or may not lead anywhere, at least we'll be building that list.
Yeah.
So, did you guys actually close anything from this this particular ad?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This first test had like a 500% ROI. Since then, it's been harder to track because it doesn't integrate with our CRM. But the guys they're keeping it on a notebook sheet of paper, so it's definitely worth it. And a lot of these people too, it's a good way for them to contact, and then they want to move over to the phone, right? Or it's just another communication line. And when we send out one of these broadcasts, 800 people are getting this at once. The sales team is just right there because people start responding.
Got it.
Right. So it seems like,
and we haven't even tapped into the beginning of this. This is the early stages. So there's a ton you can do that I'm sure I've not thought of yet.
So Ralph and Keith and Jenny on the block, how do we start this immediately?
well, I think this is like a 2-phase step approach here. I mean, we figure out like what you want to sell first off. I mean, we could target individual products that people have been to the sales page but then haven't purchased, if you want to go that route, and then just start with destination ads first. And I think the placement ads, so at the same time, we can start building up at least, into phase 2, enough people that have messaged so that we could use it as a placement, sponsored messages. But first and foremost, I think that, the low hanging fruit, and Molly, correct me if I'm wrong, is definitely in the destination for people who are way deep in your funnel, but just haven't made the decision to buy yet. Yeah.
Yeah. And Frank, it might be, I don't know if this is true, but when you guys connect this, it might add anyone who's ever messaged your page even before you turn the comments off. So you could start with a nice little amount of people there.
So it sounds like
I agree.
Go ahead.
I think that's the best place to start, is just retargeting on the products, because that way we started with the bigger one, right? And we had like 300 messages in a day, and it was a lot to handle, right? So I would recommend starting small, because I don't think we capitalized on that initial push like we should have, because we weren't organized.
Yeah. Like we sent this to like his entire list or his fans, that would you'd get inundated, and you probably have a lot of weird questions too.
I have an idea. I have a couple things here, because I think the long-term goal here is to build that list, right? So then you have more options. So the more people you have on that list, the better. But obviously, you don't have to necessarily broadcast everybody. So we may be thinking about what could you do initially to start the conversation to get more people at least on that ManyChat list. And then the other way you could do that too is you can always use email initially to build it up. So hey,
yeah, if I was you guys,
what's that?
Maybe. Yeah, if I were you all, I would run. Sorry, I think it's overlapping. Yeah, I would run the product specific ads just for retargeting, and then I would do whatever you can to build this subscriber list and send out some emails that have that link and start getting people to talk to you on there. And then we're sending out one of these broadcasts, every week or two now.
Nice.
Yeah. You can just have a link in there. It doesn't have to be a conversation with the salesperson. It can, and you can have one auto.
We currently, this is the easiest, quickest thing that I see that we could use it for immediately and allow a slow progression of starting. Basically, right now, we have the book funnel. We're getting book buyers daily, right? Mm-hmm. And right now, we have, for the buyers within the first week of buying, they are currently getting retargeted to a webinar, right, to sign up for a webinar. I think we just retarget those, and that's a small list. It's not like the complete book buyer list is probably like 25,000 people, and we probably don't want to start with an audience that big. But the list of that we're current, like the new book buyers, right? Those guys, that list's like 2,000 people, and it's rotating. So we could start it with that. Like, we could also continue retargeting those people to the webinar, but I would say let's start with the book, and basically you've already gotten their credit card once. They just bought this book. The easy question is like, what's your next step now that you have the book? What do you want to know?
Yeah, right. The only thing with that is that's what we did with Wicked Reports. So their answer was, hey, do you guys integrate with Entreport or whatever? Yeah, we do. Okay, great. How do I get started? Here, watch this webinar. When they should have said, hey, let's book a demo with one of our sales guys and then close you right then and there. Like they were deep in the funnel. That's where I think they screwed up. If you send them to the webinar there, yeah, you can definitely warm them up for the next phase. But I think and that's definitely something that we would want to do. I think the early wins are just to like get people who are like currently sitting on the fence and have expressed interest in a particular product, and then just go after that.
Yeah, we've got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would retarget people that are on the webinar but didn't buy.
Right.
I'm sure you're pitching them something, and just say, hey, I hope you enjoyed the webinar. I didn't get to all the questions, is I don't know, something to the effect of, why didn't you buy? Like, can I answer any questions? Because I think if you start product specific, then they have the expectation of it being a sales conversation.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
In the list for webinar attendees, we have webinar registrants we can pull as a website custom audience, Jenny. But I mean, as far as a custom, yeah, okay.
I think
Hey
I've
guys,
got
sorry.
win.
I've got to go interview somebody, but I hope this was helpful, and let me know if there's anything else we can help with.
Yeah.
This is awesome, Molly. Thank you so much. I'll see you in a couple of days, I suppose, in Vegas. I'm going to have anyone who has questions
All right.
defer them to you.
I will not be there, so tell them to ask Ryan.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, see you. Okay, guys, I think I know the scheme here.
Yeah.
So I probably should have done this sooner, but it sounds like I have not really given you guys the overall picture of how our business works. So that book funnel, the sole purpose of that thing is just to acquire a prospect for our membership at break even or better.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really, I mean, we do actually make whatever, like 19% on the front end or something every month from those ads. Mm-hmm. But our real money is in this series of campaigns that sells our $397 a month membership.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to do is use this methodology to get membership joining questions, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask you how that's been going since you did your presentation to Warren, because it was only 3.5 months in.
Yeah, it's going insultingly well. It's awesome. So like that's all we do now. So nothing has changed. We get members, keep members, and that's our entire business. So that's why I haven't built other funnels other than the book funnel, because the book is attracting perfect candidates for membership.
Sure.
And that's why I don't have UWB or IBB promos out there, because Ultimate Webinar Blueprint might be a good one. But anyway, so they come in, and then we use any of the existing product line as a bribe to get them to join. So here's what we're getting. And I don't know if there's a damn Facebook pixel on these pages or not. Probably not, damn it. Maybe so. I'll look in ClickFunnels in a minute. But I've got the email addresses of everyone who has clicked those sales pages during those promotions, whether it's Get Mass Control free when you become a member, or Get Client Acquisition free when you become a member, or Get UWB free when you become a member. So we've got all of those guys that we could drive, hey, do you have questions about becoming a member, messages to. And I've got about 1,300 people who have completed step 1 of the I want to be a member order form, but didn't complete step 2. Okay. So I would assume those are likely our lowest hanging fruit, and I would assume that's where we can really automate.
Yeah.
The ongoing thing. No, I don't want to dictate that, because you guys are pros at this, but it seems to me that might be our lowest hanging fruit.
Well, on the webinar, what's the pitch on the webinar? Just refresh my memory. Is it for the membership, or is it for something else? Like,
no. So the webinar itself sells Client Acquisition System,
right?
Which is like $1,860,
right,
two payments of $930.
Yep.
And then if they don't buy it, there's a little follow up there, but I don't really care. Like, I want people to buy it, but the whole reason that exists is just a Slack adjuster to liquidate the cost of the acquisition. Okay. So if they go on the webinar and they don't buy it, or they never go on the webinar, I'm not going to email them 9 million more times. There's like a week-long invite sequence, and then that's it. Because now they're in what I call the super system, which is a series of campaigns that offer membership with a front-end bribe. So if they don't webinar, for example, they are sent a video that teaches them cool stuff about consulting, and then if they watch it, now they're in a countdown series, which is, hey, get this class for free when you join. And if they don't accept that, they're in one for Ultimate Webinar Blueprint, same structure. If they don't accept that, they're in one for Mass Control. Okay. So that's where our real meat is with this thing, is in those sales of monthly members versus the actual webinar itself. I'd love to get more webinar people, but really we're in the membership business,
Sure. So that's really the question. Like, I think that's what DM, like, you look at these ads and they're selling, albeit it's a different price point, but I mean, it's the same thing. In essence, they're selling DM Lab. I mean, I think this whole thing works based upon what the economics of your business are. And if that's your big driver, is memberships to, you know, $397 a month, and that does require multiple touch points, obviously, at that price point. And you know, they've seen lots of the offers and the stuff that they get free with it. That seems like that would be the easiest thing to do. The question is like, how do we pull out the custom audiences? If you've got the custom audiences where they've expressed interest or they landed on the page, those would be the custom audiences I would certainly hit. And I think recency is a big issue here too. You know, somebody who hit that 30 days ago isn't going to be as good of a prospect as they are today if, you know, it was within the last 7 days.
So for immediate deployment, I just don't remember if pixels are on the pages or not. For immediate deployment, we could just say, screw it, you know, I'll download because we've got everyone tagged by what they clicked, you know, so I can download the email addresses and upload them as a custom audience, and we'll have some are older and some are newer, and we'll just, you know, suffer the consequences of not having good segmenting. But going forward, I'll put the damn pixel on there, and we can build some automation in there, you know.
Yeah, totally. Like, yeah, I mean, if there's like a pivotal page that, you know, if they hit this, they're really interested in 397. Like, if we're pumping up the volume of those audiences, the best retargeting ads that I see is the ones that are in like really short day increments. Problem is that because those are typically very small audiences, like somebody who hit your sales page for the 397 for a 7-day period is going to be far less than 180 days. So, but they're a much better buyer potentially, especially because it's recency. But
how long does the countdown time typically take once you? How long is the countdown sequence?
Typically 3 days for these.
Okay.
So the typical campaign, it's called a double tap framework. So first thing I do is I send out a very content-rich educational video that makes the offer for the bribe softly. And if they click that and they don't take that soft offer for the bribe to get them to join, which most won't because it's so soft and it's at the end of a lot of content, then they're in a more aggressive, not aggressive, but a more straightforward VSL sequence that's 3 days long. And so I'll have everyone who clicked on that.
Mm-hmm.
I can get their email addresses. We can upload them and create custom audiences, and then maybe there's pixels on there. I have no idea. I'll pull ClickFunnels up in a minute, but we're recording, so I don't want to record myself, you know, going through my ClickFunnels stuff.
Yeah.
Not that I guess it matters, but still, you know.
I can stop recording.
Quick question on that so on the membership deliverable, do they get a how often do is the coaching calls / whatever, the group calls or the deliverables in that?
So as members, they get basically 3 things. There's a newsletter that's delivered every month.
Right, physically, right? Yeah,
physically delivered. There is a campaign in a box that also comes, it's not literally in a box, it's delivered with the newsletter, but, you know, a blueprint for a campaign, et cetera, and frameworks and all of that. There's a hard drive that walks everybody through how to use everything, and then every second and final Wednesday of every month, so twice a month, we do live video conferences where I review their stuff. And now we're adding additional classes for them as well. So, for example, every Monday now, starting on last Monday for the next 4 weeks, I'm doing live trainings on mindset stuff. Starting on the 22nd of February, I'll be doing live trainings on how to build continuity. So we're continuing to add even more stuff for the members. Not that they've asked for it or anything, but it just seems like the cool thing to do, you know. I like them, so I want to keep giving them stuff.
Sweet. Yeah. So they're getting that real personal touch. And
yeah,
do some of them go on video with you? Or like, can they turn their camera on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, we spent a fortune on the CNN-style studio, and we share their screen with me. They can come on camera. It's really, really cool.
Okay.
They also just so
get on to it. One of them. So what are you using to host to do? Are you just using are you doing like a private Facebook Live? Are you using the same Wirecast to do the membership ones then? Or
yeah, but it's not a Facebook Live. We're using a Webinar Jam with their new YouTube Live interface.
Okay. Yep.
And it's we did it with that interface for the first time last week, and it was a little buggy in the sense that when multiple people were trying to get in the queue to come on, it sort of gave a little bit of a lag, but they fixed it. So next Wednesday will be our first test with their fix of that. And if the fix is unsatisfactory, which I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, you know, then we'll switch to Zoom.us or something. But regardless, we are using all that like Wirecast and everything to do multiple camera angles. I think we have 6 or 9 cameras in the studio. We can do split screen with me and them, split screen with me and my screen. It's crazy. I mean, it's really like a television show, you know.
Hey Keith, as part of member benefits, also just to throw in there, they have access to attending 3 live events with us throughout the year, which I think is kind of huge, especially since we have one coming up. I think people would maybe want to know how to get invited to that. And then also their private Facebook group, which is really, really heavily, like, there's a lot of engagement in there as well. So they tend to like that a lot.
Interesting. See, I have a question, and this is partly because, and this would be because I was looking at, you know, since you first initially launched this, when I first saw the email, like back before you did your presentation at War Room, I was like, this is crazy, dude. I sent this to Ralph and Sasha. This is so money. I loved it because, anyway, the reason I'm asking this because for us, we want to get to know a lot of these guys, right, that we can refer out as consultants and stuff. So we're certifying a bunch of guys, you know, in February. But I'm doing a similar inner circle, but a little more expensive because I want to keep the group small. But my question for you is, have you thought about, like, so if it's, because the price point of maybe like $600 to $1,000 a month, you know, so it's a smaller group, but it's an inner circle. They don't expect to get any one-on-one calls. But for the people that do, are you thinking about doing a next level, like inner circle level 2, where they get a smaller private event retreat style, and then they do get a little more, or not, just keeping it super simple?
I like keeping it super simple. So that's the thing with continuity that you, like, if you really want to do continuity, you know, it for me anyway, it has to be your entire job. So I view the membership as a single client that pays me a fortune, and I view myself as being on call 24/7 for that client.
Gotcha. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it would, you know, Ascension makes sense in the traditional, like, hey, you should offer another level. I doubt that we will. I would prefer just to get more members at this level and then just make myself more available. Like, you know, if we have an issue where I need to be doing more live video conferences, I'll be thrilled.
That's what I like that. I totally like that. The only reason it came up is because, you know, there's a few people that are already at a higher level, like trying to phase that out actually for that same reason. Yeah,
but personal preference is always the key.
Exactly. You know? Yeah, exactly.
Like whatever you like doing. Like I really like these members, and the price point is reasonable enough to where, you know, I don't feel like I have to single-handedly rescue every situation. Well, actually, I do feel like I have to do that because I want to, but you know, it's not like I have to, oh my gosh, this guy's paying me so much money, I need to fly to his house and pick up his pen and write his headline for him or anything like that, you know. Or I would genuinely have that neurotic level of obsession, you know, which I still, to a degree, have.
What time are your calls? No, you should. I want to start getting in on some of these, and if you ever want a Facebook ad question answered sometime, I'll hop on and, you know, turn the camera on and chat with you guys if you want.
That'd be great. We do 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Pacific time every second and final Wednesday. And then these newer calls, which are classes that I'm teaching, like, you know, mindset stuff, those are at 10 in the morning. And I'll probably, as the membership grows, start doing additional times for people who are in the country of Europe or Australia or whatever, just to be cool to them so they don't have to get up at 0 o'clock in the morning, you know.
Yeah, exactly. If you go like an hour or two later, it's like 6 a.m. and it's a little like 12 or noon, and it's that time that can possibly work, but for those guys.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, that's the big learn for me with continuity, is that really, if you're going to do it and really make it into the business, from my perspective, that has to be the entire business. If I were trying to do something else on top of it, both projects would suffer, you know. Totally,
yeah. And the other issue is we have that smaller group, and they're the $59 a month. That's, you know, so it's you know, quite a few people in there. So it's a little challenging to phase it in. So it's, you know, reducing the deliverables for those, and then it's, you know, now, you know, doing something like this, in which I didn't have that group, obviously, would be but we do, so we have to phase it. We have to change the deliverables in a very significant way. It's more challenging.
Well, dudes, what's the first thing that we can do in the next 15 minutes to get this sucker going? I can go and sign up for, what was it called, ManyChat.com immediately.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, for sure. Definitely sign up for that, and then attach your page to it. And then if you just want to send us the logins too, like just the three of us, I don't know. Do you use LastPass? It doesn't really matter. If you just send those to us. Yeah, so that's sort of on the the placement side. At least we've got that up and running, and then you can start doing some of those broadcast emails, which I think would be really really cool. And then on our side, I guess the real question is the destination ones, which is obviously we've figured out that we want to get people in the 397 membership. So if somebody is, and maybe this is a question for one of your sales people or Aurora, is what's the biggest objection that they have to joining that 397? Like, what's the typical, like, the last thing, aside from price or anything else? Like, is there anything that we should know about that? Because we're going to try and talk to that in specific questions in the ad copy potentially. Or it could just be a more general thing, like, do you have questions about, the membership, or, you attended the webinar, or, like something. We just need to be able to craft a message that hooks them in enough, and then we'll take care of the ad creative. And then just, it's a matter of synchronizing it, make sure that your two salespeople are on there, because these are going to, you're going to get messages at all hours of the night, in the morning, and everything else. So
they're animals. They love it.
The other thing I like here, and one of the reasons why I was asking this, and I was asking about my stuff a little more because it made me think of it too, but Frank, if you can get, have your video guy create take a few screenshots of you, like split screen, when you're working with one of the members, okay? So you can, Ralph, you can use this as an image, because even if it's not, even if it's just a question, hey, got a question about, because they already started the process, right? They just didn't hit submit, so they bounce off the order form, so they've already seen some of the pitch for the membership. But to be able to see that and experience, like, Frank interacting with these guys, and they're gonna be like, oh crap, I didn't like, and I think that would be a good image. And then the ad copy could say something like, want to hang out on a weekly basis with, and plus blah blah blah, got any questions? And then they can kind of feel themselves in that scenario, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So have your guy take some questions, like pictures, screenshots of the screen that the viewer is seeing in, where you got like chat on there, and you've got like you and another member, like, so it looks just like, you know what I mean?
Or maybe all the members, because you say you use you do Wirecast, you do what? How do you do it? Like like a live screenshot, so they can understand that Frank is actually interacting with them on a weekly basis, or every other weekly basis. Is that what you're getting at?
Have it as
Yeah. It's the shot of the screen, but while he's actually, because sometimes those guys will turn their camera on, but it might just, if you're doing a split screen, it'll be whoever he's working with at that time. So whoever raised their hand is asking about their business. Some turn their camera on, some don't, I assume. But you can probably also see the, some of the chat roll as part of that picture too.
We can totally do it. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the mini chat thing set up. I'm going to get those audiences for you, whether we have pixels or not.
Yep.
And then I will write the copy for each segment, but I won't have the images, unfortunately. So I think the copy, by the way, is always going to be, how do I know this was right for my business? Because that really is, at least for me when I'm on webinars pitching it, they're like, hey, will this work for XYZ? And the answer sometimes is no, by the way. So that's likely going to be the best angle to take, which is what DM took, which is really straight from Kennedy.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Frank, I have a couple things also. If we could get the all-time list of people who are members, that'd be a great lookalike to start selling the book to.
You got it, homie.
Oh, yeah.
And if you could give us the URLs or emails or whatever is the process of signing people up to the membership, so that we can see kind of what is the user experience when so they come in, they buy the book. Are they getting an email that's going to put them towards the membership, or what is the user, because that'll help me as far as like writing copy and put myself in the shoes of like, okay, what, people finally get to this page, okay, how did they get here? And what does that page even say? Because then that helps us with like just general
I'll make you a video.
what the
I'll
membership
walk you through it in video,
Okay.
so that'll make more sense.
So
Okay.
Cool.
if it's right for your business, that's the biggest question that people get without a
Yeah,
doubt.
how do I know this will work for me? You know,
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that's pretty good. And then another angle we can take is, are you still considering the current inner circle? We have a very secret bonus and promotion. Click here to message us if you're interested, you know, which will work well because then our staff can offer really any bonus that they want to acquire a member. So it's pretty sweet.
All right. Say that one again. I missed writing that one down.
So for like, let's say someone filled out step 1 of the order form, because
Yep.
we've got 1,300 of those guys.
Sure.
The ad could read, are you still interested in joining the inner circle? We have a secret bonus that Frank has allowed us to give away. Message us if you're interested in it. So it's very low-hanging fruit, you know.
Okay. Cool.
And then our salespeople can give away really whatever they want as a bonus. We can then prescribe bonuses based on the individual circumstance, you know.
Okay. Cool. That's good ad copy right there. All right. Yeah, I think these are like see the ball, hit the ball ads, really. It's just a matter of getting the right copy. I don't think it needs to be too complicated, but yeah, this is cool. Sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna like in the next 60 minutes have this stuff for you. The only thing I might not have is that full video for Jenny, but I'll have everything else.
Yeah, maybe we can get our video person to do something like what DM did here. I love the bubbles.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, that just
I
doesn't.
don't know how to do that, but if your video person will do it for me, I'll give him 10, maybe even 20 American dollars, maybe even 50.
Oh, that's way too generous.
Yeah, well, you know,
That's how you roll, man.
yeah, new era.
All right, I will. I'll task Trish to do that, Jenny, just so we have another creative, and then I've got some notes here for ad copy. We can compare that, and then anything we get from Frank, we can get this going. So,
Sweet.
do you want to get it going like on a Monday when your salespeople are back in, or what do you want to do?
These guys
No,
are
they
animal.
work all through the weekend.
nonstop.
Say again.
They're on, dude. They'll take it any day.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on 7 days a week.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Psyched.
Okay, I'll have this to you in 60, babies.
All right, man.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Peace out. See you.
Bye.